Hi, I'm Sharon.
I'm Mark.
And we are Ponderosa Garden Adventures. Thanks for joining us again. We're going to talk today about our garden tour. It's the end of April. It's our spring garden tour. And we just want to show you what's going on in the garden. It's been a little bit since our last tour.
We haven't had a garden tour since January because honestly there's not a lot going on. The rains continued. We had frost just a couple weeks ago. So it's been a lot of cleanup, a lot of removing weeds and debris and dealing with flooding and stuff like that.
Lots of rain, lots of sunshine. We had some hot days. We were dealing with seedlings in the greenhouse that didn't like the weather shift. They didn't like the frost and then the 80-degree days. And so, yeah, it's just been a lot more care on things we don't usually spend time on this time of year.
And you'll see we've taken down the greenhouse and trimmed all the bushes and all the trimmed most everything around here. So
not quite done, but it's looking much better, I have to say.
I'd say the gardening season is in full swing, and we're ready to show you where we're at and some of the projects we have coming up.
We have some very exciting things coming up. We'll kind of point those out as we go through this tour, and we even have a special project that we're not going to show you yet, but stick around. It's going to be exciting, and I think you'll all like it a lot.
Every year we usually have one big gardening project. 2 years ago it was planting the asparagus garden and so forth. Last year it was doing the Tuscany, the dining area. And so this year we have a big project, but we're just getting started. It's kind of in the middle, and so we don't want to talk about this.
Keep it under wraps for right now.
Yeah, keep it under wraps. So be sure to tune in for some future episodes. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see that special project. All right, so we're going to show you around. We've got a couple of gardens that need to be renovated and lots of stuff needs to be planted.
Lots of color, lots of gorgeous flowers that are blooming right now, lots of roses, very exciting time. All the chamomiles in full bloom, and so the garden looks really full, which is always exciting, you know, when you have a slow start to spring planting.
The other thing is this tour is going to be just our backyard. The front yard is a completely different landscape and a whole bunch of projects going on there. So stay tuned for that episode as well. Well, anything else we want to talk about, or should we get started?
I think that's it. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go do our tour.
All right. Here we are, the rose garden. Just to give you a perspective, this is the view of the yard. So I'm going to start here in our rose garden. We just trimmed this Tiffany here. We've been having rust issues. All the excess rain that we got. But we just cut some blooms. So some of them are just gorgeous. There we go. All right. Got garden cart out here. This is a working garden. And we have our citrus here. Need to trim the lavender. Here is our other Princess Charlene. These blooms are spent, but we'll be getting this planted. Right now it's just in a pot waiting for its permanent home. This is our Satsuma. And you can see that we have trimmed the aloe. The lavender is really enjoying stretching its feet out. The calendula. This kumei garden has really blossomed this spring. I'm very happy with this. You may remember we did a revamp on one of our earlier videos. The verbena is just magical here. Just love the purple. And our apple tree has got lots of apples. coming in. This has got 5 different varieties on it. Super happy with that. And you can see all of the chamomile in Windsor in the background. I'll take you down this way, and then we'll come up the other side. This is just our archway into our eating area, which we call Tuscany. This was our big project last year. Here's the mini rose garden. Didn't get all of the trimming and maintenance done. That'll be done over this next week, and we've got a few new ones to put in. A really pretty bright pink one. The Russian sage is coming back. Very exciting. One of my favorite plants in the garden. And you can see all of our onions just ready to go to full blossom. We've got the grapefruit tree here, and you can see all the blossoms here. We're going to have a really full harvest this time. And this is the area we call Kilauea, which is our fire pit area. We've kind of moved things around a little bit, and you can see all the succulents in the back, which is my son's area, that he is our expert and tends to all the succulents here, most of them anyway. And then we've got our black-eyed Susan vine coming back, and it'll make its way over this whole archway as the season and summer progresses. And our pear tree, which was dormant in our last video, last tour, and you can see that it is leaping out, and you can see we've got buds, blossoms, and I'm looking so forward to having some great pears off of this. And again, this is our area back here. We have hibiscus here, kind of a peach colored one, hasn't blossomed yet this season. And our area over here, you can see our roses are just going crazy on the swing set. And another Princess Charlene de Monaco, just my pride and joy here. And again, this one, same thing. We're just waiting to find the perfect home for it. Right now it's gonna live in this pot. This is the area in the last tour that was all full of mess and mayhem. And you can see we have cleared this out. This is part of that special project we were talking about. And over here we have our pineapple grove progressing along nicely. We have harvested the pineapple that you saw in the January tour. We've got bougainvillea on the back side here, and more roses and grapevines. And we have some gardenia here. Plumeria. And some blueberries. I have another new blueberry to plant. I haven't done that yet. And again, another look at the roses. This was my daughter's swing set, and my vision for this was to have it covered in roses and grapevines, and we are fulfilling that. You can see my son's cactus here, which started as a very small cactus. There we go. We're gonna have grapes this season. There we go. All right. And then the plumeria here didn't like the frost, so I think we've lost these two, which is unfortunate. They're our two oldest plumerias. And coming around the back side here, we can see there's the Russian sage and a shot of the onions, and you can see there's some volunteer sunflowers coming in over there, and the gorgeous yellow roses here. Coming around to the back side of Windsor, so you can see the chamomile self-seeds, and it comes back every year. This year I decided to throw in some wildflower seed, and I planted some sweet pea that I started from seed, and also this dianthus here in the corner, and I'm so excited. Right, so we have calendula here in the middle. You can see that. We've got some orange and some yellow. We have California poppies, which it's later in the afternoon right now, so they've closed up for the day, and you can see my sweet peas, purple, in their glory right here. So happy with that. And there's other things hidden in the midst here that'll come out once this chamomile has been harvested. I'm going to go ahead down this path here with the privet and take you along these pots here, and then I'll come back in and give you another view of Windsor. So we have a mini rose here. It's doing much better this year. We've got some rosemary. This again is verbena that's just gone crazy. So happy with that. Some more chamomile in the pot here. We've got a hibiscus here that is in desperate need of being trimmed. We've started, but with all the rains, it's just way overgrown. We have another variety of hibiscus here that is coming back. I was nearly sure it was dead. Those are those perennials. You're just sure they're dead, and then there's a little bit of life coming back, and it's so exciting when they start leafing out again. So over here where we started, we've got my at last rose, got a couple of
All right, and I'm starting over here in the melon and squash patch. Up here, I'm very excited. We have our first cantaloupe plant. I planted some seeds almost about 4 weeks ago, and finally one of them sprouted. You can see these are Sierra Gold cantaloupe, and I planted I think I planted 5 seeds, but only one of them has come up, so we might plant a hail next to it, a hail cantaloupe. And over here, in this area where you see the mulch, we're going to plant some sweet baby watermelon over here. And then, as you can see, the zucchini in this area that I planted back in February are all doing fabulous. After a rough start, when I first planted them, there was a lot of issues, and I thought I was going to lose a couple of them, but all 3 of them are doing fine. And in fact, I think I see, if I'm not mistaken, I see some buds. And over here, this one is doing just fabulous. Look at all the new growth. Moving over here, this was the melon patch. We had tried cantaloupe and watermelon here in the past. None of them did really well. We got a few fruit off of each, so I think we're going to try pumpkins here this year. So as you can see, it's just laying fallow. We keep it covered with cardboard until we get ready to plant it. Over here is the asparagus. It's what we call Asparagus Lane. As you can see, we have a really nice stalk here. One really nice stalk. It's about 1 centimeter in size down at the base, and look at that, almost a meter tall. It looks delicious. So that one's almost ready to eat. And I hope we get more stalks off of that one. Here's another one, but it's not quite as impressive. But as you can see, yeah, there's another one. So they are coming up. That's great. There's one way in the back. Over here, we have the avocado tree, which is not doing so well. As you can see, I had to cut off the main stalk right there. It is. As you can see, it was dead all the way down. That was the main trunk. So I cut it off, and now this other branch is kind of taken over. So we'll see how it goes. It's the only one of 3 avocados we planted that is still going. Over here is this beautiful wildflower garden that was a mixture of 2 different wildflower mixes. The one in the front was a low-growing sort of floral ground cover. The one in back is supposed to be more floral, like fragrant, but it just ended up being much taller and very, very colorful. And so you can see I've got in the back some nice purples and blues. Look at this one, it's just now starting to blossom. That is just beautiful. Look at that. We're trying to identify that, so if you know what kind of flower that is, let us know. Wait, there's more. Down below is there's one. We got 2 green beans growing there. Actually, I've got one growing right there. So over here we have the 2x4. I forget what we call this one. Sometimes I forget. But I've got a couple of broccoli growing. The last 2 I harvested about 6 other broccoli heads and leaves from just this little area here. This mode, there we go. And over here you see we've got an iris, one little blossom left. So as soon as that guy is done, we are going to split this iris up into at least 10 other plants. There, I can easily see 10. So that's going to be a major project. Stay tuned for that one. Geranium or something like that growing over in the corner. Some bulbs that looks like gladiolas probably. Here's a raised bed that needs to be cleaned up and planted. Hibiscus, nice blossom right there on the hibiscus. Look at that. Over here is the plum tree, and I wanted to show you one of the plums. This is the plum tree. I'm going to show you some of the plums over here. So, alright, so here's the plum tree, and I see some plums. I'm going to come up right here and see if I can spot them for you. Look at these. We've got lots of lettuce growing down here in the lettuce patch. Look at that. Yeah, nice healthy lettuce patch. Strawberries have not come up yet. No sign of them. So we're still waiting.
Alright, so this is a different variety of potato bush. We had to do some pretty big pruning on this one. It had lots of dead wood in there from the winter, and Mark did a great job getting this cleaned up. In a few weeks you won't even see the sticks in the middle. It's going to be all leafed out and green with beautiful purple blossoms. We have Corfu bed over here, which is Mark's vegetable garden. And our glorious Charlene DeMonico rows. I'll get a better shot of that. It's in the shade right now. I'll come from the other side so you can see that a little bit better. Have some succulents here. We've got both of the wine barrels cleaned out for planting. We've got hibiscus coming back to life here. I just planted this osteosperm and some seedlings that I had started. We have some salvia, Mexican heather, and our hedge of Cape daisies. This is my potager that I call Provence, and I've laid out the plants that are going to be planted. They're not yet in the ground, but we've got peppers and carrots and a Juliette tomato and some basil and some English thyme and some cayenne, some Italian parsley, all the good things. And here we are. Follow it around to the end here. We've got some succulents still going in the pot here. More dianthus. This was the bulb lasagna that Mark put together, and we're letting just the greenery die out. He's just trimmed some of the tulips. All right, and here we are on the back side of Corfu, and here is my beautiful Princess Charlene de Monaco. Not sure if you can see that. Rose, this is the one we planted in the ground just probably 2 months ago, and it has just grown like gangbusters. So it has really full, beautiful blossoms on it. I've posted some of those to Instagram, so there will be many more pictures of this to come. And again, that's the end. Here we are.
Well, we're back.
Right. We hope you enjoyed that tour with us today. If we didn't tell you in the beginning, we're here in Southern California, Zone 10B. So we're in a warmer climate. It's a little tricky this time of year because, as we mentioned in the beginning, we had a lot of rain and then we have a lot of heat. And so today it's about 75 degrees and beautiful, and it's only going to get warmer from here. So
stick with us. We'll show you how we deal with the hot weather and all the weather changes. Leave a comment below. Let us know what projects you're working on this spring and what you're going to be planting. Right. And
we hope you'll join us for the many projects we mentioned. We love putting these videos out for you. If you're enjoying them, please share with your friends. Give us a thumbs up. That really helps support the channel so we can bring more videos.
Until next time, it's Ponderosa Garden Adventures.
Bye.